Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Looking at Bitcoin dominance here on the weekly time frame. Before we get into it, it's been really boring out there. Just haven't really been motivated to do anything because there's not really a lot to say. But gonna get a lot of info out in this video. Bitcoin dominance we're going to look at. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Total 3. We're going to look at the DXY. And I'm going to come up with a crazy scenario at the end involving expansion from low volatility. So stick around. And as always, these videos can be a little slow. I don't talk as fast as a lot of these other guys. So in your settings on somewhere up in this area on your YouTuber, uh, go into settings and you can adjust the speed, playback speed to at least 1.25, maybe even 1.5. So let's get into it here. Like I said, this is Bitcoin dominance, and what is Bitcoin dominance done over its history? It fills up these spilling cups, and I made a video of it several months back. Go back and look at that. We these what are they called? Ascending broadening wedges. Bitcoin creates a bunch of them, and we oscillate back and forth in these wedges, filling up the cup. This one here filled up, spilled into this other cup, and then eventually spills out and dumps. Let's see if we go back even further. No, well, this is really where dominance started with the other coins coming into the market. And then we dump out of the cup. And it doesn't really seem to matter too much what stage of the cycle we are in. Bitcoin just fills up these cups and then dumps. Currently, we're filling up this cup and then filling up a second cup inside the first cup, similar to back here. And we've come down as I predicted here. This is before I realized I drew this yellow arrow before I realized that we were filling up the second cup. Now, it appears, though, that we are not ready to spill out of the first cup as Bitcoin dominance is following the edge of the cup here. So I think we have one more leg upwards, probably to about 53%. And this coincides with the possible ETF coming out in October. We'll see how Gary sounds today. I mean, I would imagine he's not going to say much of anything. Man is such a. He's not a fool. He's smart. He's nefarious. He's just a fucking asshole. Um, and it's very clear what he's trying to do with the timing of his press releases and his attacks on crypto are at key points in the market to inflict as much damage as he can. And that's not someone who's looking out for our best interest. And I've informed Congress of such, and you should as well. Anyway, um, so heading into October, and if we do see an ETF, that could trigger a big spike in Bitcoin. But I'm telling you what, altcoins are going to be right on its tail. So we'll see this move up quickly here and then probably start to spill out of this second cup here. Don't imagine we'll get higher than 53%. It matches these trend lines here that I've drawn. This is on a weekly. Anyway, we could lift this up a little bit. Doesn't change much. I'm not sure if I moved that accidentally or what happened. Anyway, yeah, up here around 53%, and then spilling out as altcoins catch up. And what is this? What is this date here? Yeah, see, that's the end of October. And what is this here? That's right now. Okay, so that looks like a good scenario there playing out. All right, move on. Done Bitcoin dominance. Let's look at Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on the weekly. Your Bitcoin US dollar index on the weekly time frame. Going over what I've showed you many times. And everybody had, myself included, had. I'm going to have to zoom in. Let's stay zoomed out for a second. This is what Bitcoin is doing. It's what it's done. All these lines are perfectly parallel with one another. Bitcoin has traveled in these channels in the bear market, and then in these parallel channels, ascending parallel channels in the bull, or in the parabolic bull run, as we are. Definitions. Are we transitioning into a bull? Are we the bull market really started in October for the what do you call them? Stock. What's the word I'm looking for? Traditional stock market. Um, Started in October. Ours did as well, and then FTX collapse happened, so we got delayed a couple months before our bull market started. A lot of people say the altcoins are still in a bear market, but you'll see in a second that's not true. We're making lower lows, although we are making lower highs. I mean, we're making higher lows, but we're also making lower highs in the altcoin market. But so we're kind of in limbo there, but it's all about to change. Anyway, back to here. Trade perfectly in these parallel channels in the bear, and these parallel channels in our parabolic bull market moves are all perfectly parallel with one another, and you can see price action within those channels. Same here in the bear, and then boom. Same here currently in this bear market, and we are, where are we? We're right here somewhere. And we're about to start heading upwards. So, that being said, I did want to zoom in here and the trend line that everybody was following, and you can see now why it doesn't work. But the trend, you know what? I got these purple channels in the way, and they're kind of crisscrossing because they were drawn on a daily or something. And when you switch to the weekly time frame, it messes it up because of the points that you've chosen on the chart. But anyway, the trend line everybody was following was from this low here to this low here to this low here, and we broke through it right here. That was the wrong trend line, and it's kind of similar to this purple channel here. But that's not the real Bitcoin trend line. The real Bitcoin trend line is this shallower trend line that goes through these points and hits this point and hits over here where we currently are, and has, you got to zoom out to get the real trend line. It has all these points of contact and interaction with price action along the way. That's the real trend line, the major trend line that we've followed for years and years and years, since almost the inception, since back in 2013. We've been following this trend line and this trading within this parallel channel for the most part. Really, the only time we spiked out was up here. So as we zoom in, where are we at today? Let's switch to a daily time frame. I guess I gotta go to. As we left off last time, I said, and I've moved these triangles inward just because I couldn't see it was clouding the price action, but I did have these moved over a couple days, and said, hey, looks like we're just going to trade here in most probably the smaller triangle, but even possibly the larger triangle here. And as it turns out, we've just been trading right along for the past week along the bottom of this smaller triangle here. Now, today, the past few hours, we've currently been making a move upward. Where are we at now? 26,640. We came up to about 26,8, 26,8 and some change. So, yeah, not a lot to say here. What I do see potentially happen, I think we're ready to bust a move here. And we've just re-entered these three green lines, dotted lines here, represent the Gaussian channel on the daily time frame, and I will turn that on quickly here. You can see the Gaussian channel right here, and we've just re-entered that. We had entered it here, fell back out, we've re-entered it again. This time we're going to stick. We're going to stick and travel up through the daily Gaussian channel here, heading into October, heading into next week. We are also currently, let me turn this back off now. We are currently between the blue lines here. These blue curved dotted lines represent the mean band here on the 5-day Gaussian channel and the top of the 5-day Gaussian channel here. We've fallen into that when we did fall through that fake trend line that everybody was looking at, and it was the wrong trend line. And that's why I had been calling for a breakout in August, and I got that wrong, because myself and everybody else were following the wrong trend line. This is the trend line, and this is the breakout here. Once we break through this orange line here, we're going to see significant movement. heading into the rest of the year. And you can see it's all coming to a head right here in the month of October. Um, so moving up through the daily Gaussian channel, we will also be moving up through the 5-day Gaussian channel, and these red lines represent the weekly Gaussian channel, the mean band and the top of the weekly Gaussian channel. So everything is converging. The 5-day, the weekly, and this 28.8 horizontal trend line, key level of support, are all converging right around the middle of October, where a lot of the Bitcoin spot ETFs deadlines are the second deadlines are coming up. So I see price action moving through all these channels, Gaussian channels on various time frames up here to mid-October. Probably staying below this orange trend line, and I'll zoom out in a second to show you that goes back to our all-time high in a couple years ago in November. Probably stay below that, waiting on confirmation of spot ETF or not. Now, if it gets denied, maybe we do head back down to here or here, and also possibly testing, the top of this ascending triangle for support. So maybe come back down here around 26 spot, around where we're at. So heading up here into mid-October and possibly coming down if we get rejected, and going to the moon if we get approved. But safely, we could even come all the way down here. We'd still be within this triangle here. And that being said, if we do get rejected, I still see Bitcoin and the entire crypto market moving upwards. This is where we start our move. This would just be a minor setback because these will get approved. And the apex of our triangle is coming to it's the apex. It's late November. The end of November is when that actually, yeah, almost the very, 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 very end of November. So we can continue trading in here. All right, so that's what's going on with Bitcoin, and but I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see this move up here. This is where it happens. This is where I think this move is coming, right here. I'm almost certain of it. But there is the chance we get rejected and come down here and see them move later. Let's take a look at the DXY, see what it's doing now. It was continuing its move upwards. Oh, and we are right at that line. Huh. That's interesting. So we are seeing a rejection from this. We've come all the way up to this trend line that I've drawn. Let's get rid of all this. We don't need all that. Guess I could even move it up. It's funny how these. Okay, no, I see. I tied it here with this. I tied it here with this, and then it hits these other ones. So, you try to hit as many points as you can with these trend lines, and it's just below these 2 points here. So we could even poke through this a little bit and then start heading back downwards. Or we could come all the way up to this other purple line here, which I just set at this high back here. Doesn't really hit a lot of other things. It just kind of generally hits towards the tops and bottoms of some other candles. It hits here and here. Yeah, so we're looking for a rejection soon, and we're going to start heading back downwards on the DXY over the next month or so. Where does this take us? Yeah, into the end of the year. I'm seeing that we're heading back down. This isn't a move back upwards into the teens or anything like that. This pink dotted line I've gone over this time and time again. Let's zoom out on let's just go all the way to a monthly. So you can see the parallel channel the Dixie's been trading in since back in the early 70s inside this pink parallel channel. Currently up here. Wait, where are we? Oh, we're way up here. Okay, yeah. So we're outside the channel. We've broken through it back here in the 80s. This is the .com era, and we've currently poked through it all the way up to this trend line here. Earlier this year, and we've just poked through the top of this channel again. I thought we would get rejected at the top of this channel, possibly poke through it a little bit, and we are poking through it a little bit, but I do see us getting rejected here and heading back down into the end of the year to this white dotted line at 101.7. And you can see it's been a key level of support and resistance. You can see it right here. You can see it right there. And it goes back over decades here. We're on a monthly. You can see more points of contact on a weekly and daily time frame. But even on the monthly, you can see how these match up pretty accurately here. This has been a major level of support and resistance over the decades. So it just all makes sense. It just makes perfect sense to me. Let's just look at it here. Yeah, see? It doesn't make any sense that we would keep going up here. That's just stupid. Whenever we hit these highs, this one we kind of did a little mountain range there, but we always come significantly downwards like that from these highs, significantly downwards. Even all these little ones, downwards. We don't, it's rare that we make these little things like that. So here we are making kind of a little thing, but we're going down there. So that's that on the Dixie and Total 3. Why do I have that guy? Oh, I have that guy turned on because this is where the parabolic run target lines start with the top of the weekly Gaussian channel from the previous all-time high. You can see this is where, boom, we went to the moon from that point onwards once we broke that line. Not to say, so total 3. These are a bunch of little parallel channels that I drew on a smaller time frame, and currently we are right here, which coincides with this part of the market cycle. So parabolic run starts way over here. Boom. Not to say we didn't see significant movements from where we are at now in the cycle, which is back here, to that run. It's like 190%. Now, where we're at today, right here, to this run, about 177%. And this is just drawn roughly. Now, notice the date down here in June. We follow a similar path as we have in the past. June 2024, or maybe even farther out. It's about 900 billion, 177% move over the course of the next 9 months. And then we shoot upwards. And where do we shoot upwards to? This green X that I put there at some point in the past. And these are the price targets I've predicted for the altcoin market in September 24 and September 25. Crap, don't got much time left. Looking at Bitcoin on the 2-day time frame at the BBWP, and we've been bouncing around here. We haven't quite got that expansion yet. But it looks like we did get below into extreme low volatility, and we are set to expand now, currently at 10.32 on the 2-day. The stochastic oscillator's heading upwards, price action's heading upwards. That closes today in 10 hours. 5-day is the same. 5-day is, are you serious, at 10.32 as well? That's weird. Anyway, coming on, and that has, failed to expand as well. We've had these fake outs for quite some time, all summer long, back into May. Wow. So looking to expand off of there, and the weekly as well is at 9. So everything's reset, everything's extremely low, looking to expand, and the 2-day and the 5-day close at the end of the day today. What I foresee happening, this is a crazy scenario, is that start expanding off the 2-day in the next 2-day time frame, and as well as the 5-day. That would take us over the weekend. That would see Bitcoin price action moving up over the weekend. A possible scenario I see playing out either this weekend or next is that we create a gap over the weekend in the CME futures that never gets filled, and shorts get completely liquidated, and we see significant price action upwards from in a short squeeze kind of action. So, okay, Gotta go if they don't cut me off. All right, like, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.